Hi, what's going on, guys? This is Liam here from Liam Stops Tinnitus. Well, actually, the first company I started was Tinnitus Treatment, then Liam Stops Tinnitus, and now Silence Tinnitus Now. Hope you're all doing well. It's been a minute since I have done a live stream, a little bit last minute, a little bit late notice, but I figured I should show my face because I haven't really been doing that many posts and that many this, that, and the other thing. Hey, what's going on? Hey, guys, how you doing? How's things? So wanted to come on here and let you guys know what's been going on and what's happening and what's new and how things are doing and make sure you're okay, answer some questions. I hope you guys have been enjoying the testimonials. Big Boss Liam, what's up, Nathan? What's the path of a ATM tinnitus? I'm not sure what you mean by ATM. Do you mean at the moment or automatic teller machine, like a cash machine? I'm not sure. Or tinnitus at the moment. If you want, I can break it all down for you. Hi, how you doing? Okay, good. What's going on, guys? So if you guys have any questions, first of all, this live stream, I'll put it on YouTube, I'll put it on Instagram, I'll save it so you can go back and you can review it. So if you don't have time to stay for the whole thing, don't worry, you can watch it back at your own leisure, you can catch up on everything. But how is everybody's 2026 going? I don't think I've done a live stream in 2026. Hey Chrissy, how you doing? It's always nice to speak to another Australian. Hope you guys are doing well. So if you guys have any questions, I think a lot of people do understand, what I talk about when I talk about tinnitus, how I talk about it as a metabolic issue, and it has to do with central gain, and it has to do with the mechanoelectrical transduction system. It has to do with a whole bunch of interesting and cool things like that. If you guys want to know a little bit about that, if you want to know about the app for Sheikah that I'm working on, if you want to have any questions answered, if you want to write me a huge 100-word question that's very specific to you, I would love to hear it. So now's your time. I get so many DMs, but please let me know. Did I get a question up here? TMJ. Okay, TMJ tinnitus. Okay. All right. TMJ tinnitus, for those of you who don't know, I'm sure you do know, means temporal mandibular joint, where your jaw connects to your skull. Okay? You have two separate pieces. You have the skull here with the skull plates. All right? If you watch my documentary on my YouTube channel with, I believe his name is Jim McCarty or something like that. He's in Dallas, Texas. I was there in 2019. I interviewed him, and I interviewed Darren Schmidt of the Nutritional Healing Center of Ann Arbor, and I also interviewed a Chinese medicinal herbalist specialist who was in Los Angeles, and a bunch of other people too, but I used 3 people for the documentary, if you want to call it that. So lots of fun. But Jim McCarty talks about TMJ and things like that, and everybody has a little bit of a different approach, as to why it happens and what to do about it, and what symptoms can arise from it, and what happens if it's untreated, and what it means, and so on, which people are more predisposed to contracting it. So temporomandibular joint dysfunction, it's this hinge, right? I look like one of those clowns, at the fair that turns around. Anyway, so my take on it is a little bit different, but it works. So you might go to a dentist or an endodontist and say, I have pain in my jaw. When I open my mouth, it clicks or it makes a weird noise. I always wake up with pain on my left side, and my ear is ringing on my left side, and I think it's connected, and yada, yada, yada. And your dentist will say, okay, let me have a look in your mouth, or you might go to a chiropractor, and they might say the same thing. And they'll likely give you some exercises. Your dentist or endodontist or whoever you see might give you a mouth guard or something like that. They may even suggest braces, which, I don't know enough about braces, but I know that they're problematic. Invisalign, for example, is very problematic. I've had countless people come to me. I apologize to the Invisalign people. I'm not knocking your product. I'm sure it's great for a lot of people, but unfortunately, a lot of people do get it from that and various products. Please don't come after me, but the truth is the truth. It is what it is. I'm not going to lie. Okay. So you'll get the physical stuff. Oh, it's a physical problem. We have to address it physically. Okay. Whereas what I tell people to do is to stop eating foods rich in oxalate. So I have a testimonial on my page on Instagram, which is, if you're watching this on YouTube, my Instagram page is Liam_stops_tinnitus. or tinnitus, however you want to pronounce it. Doesn't matter. Tinnitus, tinnitus, it's a dialect thing. It's interchangeable. Stop saying I don't know how to pronounce tinnitus. I do. Thank you. Thank you for your concern, but I think I've got it handled. I tell people to stop eating oxalate because foods rich in oxalate, which would be nuts, leafy greens, almond milk, like nut milk, things like those. Sally K. Norton is the world's preeminent leader in the field of oxalates, because there's plural, there's different kinds and the damage they can cause. Oxalate, okay, is a compound within plants, okay? It's almost exclusively in plants. There's a tiny little bit inside animal products, like a minuscule little bit, but there's enough to say there is some, but it won't do a single bit of damage to your body in terms of what oxalates can do. When oxalate enters your body, when you consume it orally, it gets into your bloodstream, it binds with calcium, it turns into an insoluble crystal, which means it's like serrated glass, like little, tiny miniature. When you look at it in a not a magnifying glass, I forget the name, I apologise, but zoomed in about 100 times, it's like little razor blades, little shards of razor blades. And it goes inside your body, and it actually has an affinity, which means a magnetism for joints in your body. So that would be your hands, that would be your temporomandibular joints, that would be your fingers, that would be your back, that would be your pelvis, that would be your spine, all these things. And so when you stop consuming oxalates, the only way to get oxalate out of the body, and I learned this from Sally K. Norton, she has a book called Toxic Superfoods, I suggest getting it. The only way to get oxalate out of the body is to stop consuming it. Then the body can get rid of it. I don't know why that is exactly. I think the research is still being done, but that's the only way to do it. And so a lot of chiropractors, they'll suggest, you have TMJ, let's do some exercises. And you should do them. You should do those exercises. 100%. 100%. These people, these chiropractors are amazing. They know what they're doing. Please listen to them. But change your diet as well. And that's really I mentioned a testimonial before, I'm going to mention it now. There's a testimonial on my Instagram page. Let me move it a bit closer so you can hear me. There's a testimonial on my Instagram page of a girl who says, I mentioned it before, but I'll say it again. She goes, Liam, I thought you were so full of shit. My boyfriend has tinnitus, and he came to you 6 months ago, and he said he was going to follow your advice, and I said, that's so stupid, that's never going to work. Because he was doing things like grounding, getting more sun, changing his diet, removing oxalate from the body, eating more meat, exercising, getting AM sun and PM sun, and wearing blue blockers. And she was like, that's the biggest load of bullshit I've ever heard. I'm going to give it a go just to show you it doesn't work. Which is very spiteful, but I like it. At least if you're going to do it, I don't care what makes you do it. As long as you're going to do it, it's fine. But she didn't have any problems. But she said, and I've got a photo of this, is on my page. She said she started following the advice, and she had arthritis, like a little growth in her finger and in her jaw. But she had a bit of TMJ and a problem with her hand. And after 6 weeks of eating, essentially a ketogenic and a low oxalate diet, it went away. These joint issues. And she had them for, I think she said, like a couple of years, maybe 5 years. So it works. Sally K. Norton talks about this too. I talk about it too. It's very important. And don't forget, these oxalate crystals, they can get into your nerves. They can get into the vestibular cochlear nerve at the back here. You can give yourself a condition called, I talk about a lot, called polyradiculopathy, which is a neural inflammatory issue, which is very serious, but it's fixable in my opinion. Vegans get it, vegetarians get it, things like that. Again, if you are a vegan or vegetarian, you can get silence, but you need to make some dietary changes, and you need to really put a big emphasis on everything else outside the diet. The diet can stay the same for the most part, but just don't drink almond milk. Don't have the nut replacements, don't have the almond milk, don't sit there eating bags of nuts, okay? Just stick to, if you're a vegan, it's hard, but, just stick to, chickpeas are generally okay, rice is generally okay, fruits are generally okay, but again, fruits are genetically modified and engineered. These things that you're eating, bananas and strawberries and apricots, they're not real food. That's not what they look like in the wild. Bananas in the wild are very tart and barely edible. These yellow bananas we have, they're genetically engineered. If you give monkeys those yellow bananas in captivity, they will get diabetes and go blind and die. Yes, I get it, it's a different animal, they process food differently, but it's like you think about monkeys eating yellow bananas. No, they don't eat that shit. Okay? It's like a sugar. It's like giving them, it's like if you were to sit down and have 10 blocks of chocolate a day, you would lose a foot, you'd go blind, and you'd go on you'd go on metformin, then dialysis, and then you slip into a diabetic coma because you forgot the injection, and you would fucking die. So there you go. Hope that helps. I have lots of questions, lol, but I don't know where to start. So if you mean you don't know where to start with following my advice, the first place that you start is, the first thing you need is hope. Hope that you can get better. You need to have the belief that you can get better. So do two things. Never go on a tinnitus forum ever again. Don't even bother. They're terrible, they're negative, they're not helpful, they're crap. No one has ever gone on a tinnitus forum and gone, I feel better, or that was constructive, I now know what to do. Those places are a wasteland of human decency. There is nothing worthwhile on those things. I can remember, don't forget, I had tinnitus and hyperacusis for 4 years, and I was on those forums all the time, and you just feel worse. You're like, maybe there's an update today and someone's figured out something. Oh no, people still want to end their own lives. Okay, it's horrible. I'm making a joke out of it, but it's so terrible. But, now you have me and maybe, a couple of other people, like Julian Cohen-Hill is good. He's great in terms of the mental stuff. He's awesome. But really, that's about it. Like, I know it's sad, but it's the state of the industry of tinnitus is pretty bad, but that's okay. You only need one person to help you. You don't need 50. As long as one person can actually help you, then who cares? It doesn't really matter, does it? So stop going on forums. Next, okay, this is building hope. Go on my page on my Instagram and YouTube. Go on my YouTube channel, same name, Liam Stops Tinnitus, and go to my playlists on my channel, and go to testimonials, and just go watch all of them. And then go on my Instagram and just scroll through. You're going to see screenshots and photos and interviews and images and everything of all these people from all over the world and all different causes. And you're bound to have someone there whose their story of the onset of their tinnitus and how severe it is and what makes it spike is bound to resemble your situation. And you'll go, oh my God, this person is just like me. And if they can get better, then there's a chance. There's a chance that I can get better. And that's the hope. The next thing you need to do is you need to remember that you're not supposed to, in my opinion, you don't go adding things into your life. The first thing is to remove things. So, stopping bad habits like alcohol, cigarettes, excessive amounts of coffee, stop drinking tap water, all that. If you get my course, and yes, I'm going to talk about that because, in my opinion, it's the best thing you can do for tinnitus. If you get my course, Echo Light, you get the PDF version of my book, and in part 3, it just goes step by step what to do. It's like, just do this. First you remove this, then you add this in. Here are some exceptions, here's some frequently asked questions, go for it. But I talk about most of this stuff for free on this page. You just have to go through and take some time. But you remove things, then you add things in. Then you have to give it enough time. Because let's say that you've had tinnitus for 3 months, right? You've had tinnitus for 3 months, and you got it from an ear infection. Or you got it from, let's say, maybe a better example is like stress. Oh, well, I got it from, stress. I've only had it for 3 months, so I only have to reverse 3 months worth of tinnitus, right? Well, actually, tinnitus in practically every single case with very rare exception builds and builds and builds over sometimes 1 to 2 years. So you're not reversing 3 months of tinnitus, you're reversing 3 years of the causation bubbling under the surface even before the symptoms were audible. So you have to be realistic in how long it's going to take to get rid of. I'm not saying it's going to take 2 or 3 years or whatever, but I'm just saying that it's going to take longer than 3 months. And consistency is the key. So if you have a plan to beat your tinnitus and you find every day really hard, you're going to struggle. You're going to quit, you're going to give up. So slowly, step by step. Sometimes, for some people, they have to make some pretty drastic changes in their life. And that, you have to ask yourself, and it's not forever. You find a plan that works, your tinnitus goes down, 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 down. You get silence, you keep applying it for 3 months, and you can slowly bring back in the things that you want to do in your life. It's okay. You don't have to be living on a mountain like a hermit, forever. I don't. I still drink sometimes. I still smoke cigars. I still, if I'm working somewhere, I might have like the big headphones on with a wire or something. Sometimes I stay up late if I'm working. You know, you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to be like these biohackers that are like every day is perfectly figured out, and it's, oh my god, it's not for me, I'll tell you that much. Oh, the volume is really low, is it? Are you guys having a problem hearing me? Is it, let me try this. How about now, is that better, or is it, let me try and fix this so you guys can, hopefully, because I haven't scrolled down the questions, so I don't know. Hopefully you guys heard, I hope you guys heard what I was saying then. Let me know if you can hear me now. Other people? One of my questions is, can the cause of my tinnitus be because so much metal in my teeth? In my opinion, yes. If you have amalgam fillings with mercury in them, like if you're like over 40 years old and your dentist were putting mercury in your mouth, yeah, definitely. I mean, mercury is, I think it's the most toxic inorganic substance, meaning like non-biological, like non-living. It's the most toxic inorganic substance on earth. And dentists, especially in the ADA, the American Dental Association, were putting it into people's mouths like it was like why? I mean, you know, it's pretty obvious. It's to make you sick on purpose, yeah. Oh, yeah, the volume is very low. Oh, no. Bummer. I hope you guys can hear me. Can taking too many supplements destroy mitochondria? It depends what you're taking. I mean, with what you're taking, no, I don't think that's going to cause any problems at all. So the path for TMJ is to do chiropractic exercises and stop eating oxalate. In my opinion, yes. See how you go. Give it a go for 3 to 4 months and see how it goes. Isaac says it's a lot more complex than that. Yeah, I mean, it's a good place to start, but it's good to start with something small and build off there. Just start with one thing. I agree with Isaac. I agree with Isaac. Yeah, so Isaac is the gentleman who I posted our conversation the other day, and his tinnitus is going down to the point where it's nearly gone. So he knows what he's talking about. So thanks, Isaac, for chiming in. Is coffee really a killer? It's not a killer, but it's definitely, I mean, if you really want to know how bad coffee is, read the book Caffeine Blues. It'll shock you. It ruins your sleep, it ruins your behavior, it edits your behavior, it dehydrates the brain, it absorbs minerals from your organs, from your tissues, from your bone, from your muscles. It depletes everything. And it's full of oxalate. People keep saying it's low on oxalate. No, it's not, okay? Not in my opinion anyway, so, you know. What is your opinion on Chinese medicine for tinnitus? Yeah, I mean, I'm not against it at all, you know, because Chinese medicine, again, it focuses on like being centered, if I remember correctly, and your diet, and you know, all these sorts of things, and less on taking dangerous medications and less on surgeries, which is usually pretty beneficial. There's always a time and place for surgery, and sometimes there's a requirement for toxic medications, and that's okay. But if that's just like the immediate thing to go to, unless you're about to die, unless that's happening, then I think it's silly. Damn it, the volume's low. I'm doing his course to a T, but can't skip the coffee bit. Ah, you're still having coffee, are you? Oh, my Australian friend. How much are you drinking? Yeah, Isaac's got it down. I always like when people come in and help each other and answer each other's questions, and you guys have done the course, and that's really cool. I really like that. Can trauma and nervous system disruption contribute to tinnitus? Yeah, I mean, sure. If you mean emotional trauma or like physical trauma? Yeah, either really. I mean, if you get, like, I've had people who've been in car accidents and been concussed, and, you know, unfortunately women who've been the victim of domestic violence, and they talk to their therapist about the emotional part, if that's not appropriate for me to discuss with them. But, you know, sometimes they have damage to their skull plate. It's horrible. But yeah, they need like emotional help and the physical help as well. One of the best things they can do is get the balloons in the nose, which can help with the skull plates. It really helps. It's really fascinating, actually. Jim McCarthy, on my documentary on my YouTube channel, again, Liam Stops Tinnitus on YouTube. On my main homepage, there's a documentary called Seeking Silence. You can watch it there, the whole thing. No better. Really? You can't hear me? Oh, bummer. 1 cup a day from... That's pretty good. 1 cup a day from 5. Nothing wrong with that. That's really good. I hope you guys are enjoying the application as well. Hope you guys are enjoying the Hashika, just the basic, test. So I know there are some errors with it. I know some things don't work. I know it's not 100% right, but that's okay. It's just a testing to get a feeler for it. My assistant and myself were testing the email deliverability, and we blasted off like 5 emails with random crap in it, like blocks of text. So I apologize about that if you got that, but we were testing the formatting and stuff like that. But when it's ready, it's going to be awesome. It's going to draw from your onboarding information, like where you're from, what's your job, what you believe your cause is, your current medication. And then when you're inside the app, there's the My Plan section where there's 7 different pages on all different things, like, your different causes and all these different things you put in, it'll get that information. There's also your daily logs, like what supplements you're taking, what you've been doing, how stressed you are, what your tinnitus is, how is your sleep. It'll aggregate all that information and cross-reference it with previous clients' information. And then it's going to take all of my knowledge that I have on tinnitus, as it's called a custom knowledge base, put it all together so that you'll effectively, for all intents and purposes, have like a electronic version of me with all my knowledge about tinnitus and all the knowledge that you're giving it, as much as you want to give it, and you can chat to it, and it will give you advice like I'm giving you advice, one-on-one, inside the app. Not to mention all the other features and, Oh, and also the phone, how you can go on the app. Oh, what happened? Sorry, something weird going on. You can go inside the app for those of you who have it. If you want to use the app, send me, it should work now, but send me your name and email, I'll add you in for free. But you can go on there and you can take a picture of your food, and it will give you lectins, oxalates, phytates, tannins, salicylate, goitrogen, all the different levels, and whether you should eat it or not, and whether you should replace it. I just installed 2 more options for that, where it can take a picture of supplements and tell you if it thinks you should take it or not, and also medication, like antidepressants, sleep medication, birth control pills, all these different things. Obviously, you have to speak to your doctor before making any changes, but it's pretty amazing. So technology is really cool. Oops, sorry, just messages from people. You can hear me fine. So some people can hear me and some people can't. Yeah, I'm really sorry about it. Maybe when I upload it later, maybe everybody will be able to hear it properly, but for now there seems to be some sort of error, so sorry about that. Must be tough to hear. Better now. Okay, I'll speak louder. Loving Hashika, been following it to a T. Awesome. Yeah, I'm adding some more stuff in. Like, I've been editing it all today. The developer is adding some more things in, like making it, like some of the things don't work. Like the daily tasks, they don't refresh every day, which is an error. So, and it gives you like points and tells you how you're going, and, gives you suggestions and sends you emails and talks to you. And I mean, that's all what's coming. So pretty amazing. And I built it mostly with AI. Didn't even need to hire a developer except for the back end stuff, but that's a whole different thing. Where in the world says, what makes you so passionate about this? Well, because I remember what it was like. I remember what it was like to have tinnitus and hyperacusis, and to have, no one be able to help me. I had surgery, I got these procedures, I did this neck stuff, I bought supplements, I wasted all this money, I did all this shit, and nothing helped, and I only got worse, and, the ENTs, I remember I saw like 4 different ENTs, and many different doctors, but the ENT said, oh, your lifestyle has no bearing on tinnitus. It makes no difference, which is the opposite of the truth. Your lifestyle is the only thing that has a bearing on tinnitus. How could it possibly be anything else? It's just, you think about it and just like, it's like, doesn't make any sense whatsoever. So that's ridiculous. But, you know, I mean, and it sounds, you might think that what I'm about to say is arrogant or whatever, but if I'm not going to do it, who else will? Like, if I wasn't online, you know, where would you go? Sure, you go to Julian Cohen-Hill. He's great for the emotional stuff, and he's helped a decent amount of people. But for an all-encompassing, you know, way to help, you know, I think that I'm really probably the only game in town. When I say game, it's just a turn of phrase. I skipped your question. Okay, sorry about that. I'll go back. Can you say it again? Sorry. Oh, this is, wow. I met an elderly lady last month who had tea for 2 years and was telling me she hated her life. Then I caught up with her last week and she had her first neck massage and woke up the next morning gone. That's amazing. That's fantastic. That's really, really good. Must have been the muscles and the fascia. And also there's the sternocleidomastoid muscle that goes from here, the mastoid bone behind the ear, okay, and the sternum, and it goes from here to here, if I can show you, like there, if you can see. And I've had many clients, you know, explain to me how they have people cover it in, like, you know, a lotion with an expert, and they go there and they really work on it. It's agonizing, and that helps a lot. And I even talk about that. I've been speaking about this exact muscle here with like a hard ball, and you lay on the ground and you release it here, and you do your upper chest and your abdominals. It's like when I tell people, oh, you should release the fascia in your inner thigh and like at the bottom of your feet for your tinnitus. So like, what the fuck are you talking about? Because they're like, no, it's in my ear. I'm like, yeah, the symptom is in your ear. The symptom is in your ear, but the body is what's creating it. It's not just like your ear doesn't exist. Your ear is not separate to your body. It's connected, right? So therefore, anything could potentially have an impact, right? Because it's attached by blood flow, right? And almost anything can travel through your blood, right? So there we go. Can trauma? I did answer your question. Can trauma and nervous system disruption contribute to tinnitus? Yes. The answer is yeah. The answer is definitely yes. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Maybe I'll do a couple more questions, maybe a couple more minutes, and then I have to log off and go do some more work. I've got many things I have to do, so I'll get to that. But if anyone has any last minute questions or anything like that, it's just, I think we just spoke for 20 minutes today. Real quick, just checking in, making sure you guys are all okay, everything's handled, no pertinent questions, nothing like that. No one's freaking out and losing hope or needs help or, you know, anything like that. So if you do, send me a DM, I'll do my best to get back to you. You know, when people first get tinnitus, they often, like when they first find me, they're like, please help, I'm really worried. And yeah, of course, like, you know, send me this. You're welcome. Thank you for your work, giving us hope. You're welcome. You're more than welcome. Okay. Any other questions? I'll stay for a couple more minutes or maybe one more minute. Anything you guys want to know? Anything. No, just ask me anything. It's no problem. All right. I Beached says, Liam, your advice is the only thing that helps lower my tinnitus. Thank you. You're welcome. Keep going and get rid of it. Here we go. Raymond says, how many minutes of grounding? As much as possible on the earth. Now, you said grounding mats are okay. They are okay as long as you don't have a huge amount of Wi-Fi routers all around you. If you live in a big apartment, huge complex, like in Chicago or New York or central Sydney or central Melbourne, I wouldn't even bother, because you're just going to turn it into a microwave. Don't even use it. But if you live in like a house or a small apartment complex, it's like 6 stories tall, go for it. Like, that's fine. That's just in my experience. You might find it a little bit different, but in my experience, it'll actually have the adverse effect. Okay. Okay, guys, that's it for me today. Thanks for coming on. I'll put this on my YouTube channel and on my Instagram. If you have any questions, send me a DM. If you want to be added to Hashika for free, send me your first name, last name, and email address in my Instagram DMs, and I will add you in as soon as possible. Hope you guys are doing well, and remember, tinnitus is not for life. See you later. Okay, bye now.